Welcome. In this video, we will discuss about the Nobel Prize for Chemistry 2020. So in this series, we have already discussed about the Nobel Prize in the field of physics as well as in the field of physiology or medicine. So that has already been covered in the subsequent or in the previous videos. In this particular video, we will focus about the Nobel Prize for Chemistry. Now, as mentioned earlier in the previous videos as well, that your attention should not be on the GK facts like who won the chemistry award and such kind of things, but the major area like which is like really important. And if you have seen even this year prelims, you would have known that the things, the field of their expertise or the field for which they have been awarded the Nobel Prize, that becomes very important from your examination point of view. So let's begin this video, and first let's get over with the fact that who won the Nobel Prize this year. So this is Emmanuel Charpentier of France. Jennifer D. Doudna of USA has been awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for developing CRISPR-Cas9 genetic Caesar, one of the genes technology's sharpest tool. So what is CRISPR-Cas9? UPSC has been asking. In fact, it has asked it in 2018, 2019, and even in 2020 they have asked about this genetic engineering in some form or the other. So this is a very important topic, and this year the Nobel Academy has realized the contribution made by these chemists in terms of determining the use of CRISPR or Cas9 tools to edit the gene. So that is the main thing. One very important thing or thing which you could like quote, this is the first time Nobel Prize is awarded to all women team. So right, like before this, what used to happen, that women used to win the Nobel Prize, but it is also being shared by some men. But this time the Nobel Prize for Chemistry has been awarded to the women's only team. So this is something like as a fact you could remember. Now CRISPR-Cas9 genetic scissors can be used to change the deoxynucleic acid, which is generally known as DNA, of animals, plants and microorganisms with extremely high precision. So basically this is the thing with Cas9. It is like it's at the very particular point in which the genetic engineering need to be done. It could be done through the method of Cas9. So that is one of the techniques because of which they have won the Nobel Prize. CRISPR-Cas9 tool has already contributed to significant gains in the crop resilience, altering their genetic code to better withstand drought and pest. So this is something you need to know. Like in this year prelims, they have asked at present level of technology what could be done. So you need to know that CRISPR-Cas9 at present level of technology, they have already contributed significantly in the matter of crop resilience. So they have genetically modified the crop so that it could become more resilient towards droughts and pests. So that is also one thing you need to remember. This technology had a revolutionary impact on life sciences and contributes to new cancer therapies. Now, this is also one of the things that you need to remember. Cancer is something in which the cell grows, becomes infinite, and because of it, the eventually person dies. But this kind of precision level treatment could actually help the patient to get a better treatment, better option, better therapy. So this particular thing is also very revolutionary in terms of cancer treatment. It has potential of curing inherited diseases as well. So basically the diseases which are inherited from the parents to the children and the offspring up ahead. So this kind of technique could also help to stop such kind of passage of inherited diseases as well. So these are the major thing which like signifies how CRISPR-Cas9 is a very important technology. Now let's move forward and try to understand little bit detail about CRISPR technology. So the CRISPR, which is actually a short form for clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeat. So this is the like the expanded form of CRISPR, which is clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeat. So this is what it is. It is actually like repeating in a particular short palindromic repeats technology for gene editing, and it was first developed in 2012. So that is the year. Just remember, CRISPR technology was discovered in 2012. It makes gene sequencing very easy, simple and extremely efficient and extremely efficient and nearly endless possibilities. Editing or modifying gene sequences is not new and has been happening for several decades now, particularly in the field of agriculture where several crops has been genetically modified to provide particular traits. So if you remember, in India we have a genetically modified crop called as BT cotton. So this is something which has been in the commercial use, and it has actually helped to increase the production of cotton and also to protect the cotton against the pest, the pink bollworms. So the pest which used to attack the cotton cultivation, after the formation or after the use of BT cotton in the field, this particular thing has been checked, and because of which the cultivation, the production of the cotton in itself has increased. So this just says that genetically modifying thing is not a new thing, and it has been there for quite some time now. The technology replicates a natural defense mechanism in Streptococcus progenes that use a similar method to protect itself from virus attacks. So basically, how this technology is working, it is using a natural defense mechanism from this Streptococcus pyogenes. So basically, this is the thing in which it will develop the natural mechanism to develop its mechanism against the viral attack, and similar kind of thing is being repeated in the CRISPR technology. A DNA strand, when broken, has a natural tendency to repair itself, but the auto repair mechanism can lead to the regrowth of problematic sequence. So that is the thing. So if DNA strand is like broken, it could regrow, but the problem is it could again regrow with the same problem which had it the first place. Scientists intervene during the auto repair process by supplying desired sequence of genetic codes which replace the original sequence. So in the next slide we will discuss how this CRISPR-Cas9 technology exactly works. But basically what happens, the scientists will try to, like when the DNA strand is broken, it will try to change it with a healthy strand so that the sequence going forward is not the defected one. So that's the main idea behind the CRISPR-Cas9 technology. Let's just see how it works. So the Cas9 protein forms a complex with guide RNA in a cell. So this is your Cas9, it will form a guide RNA, and this is how it will look. Next, what will happen? This complex attaches to a matching genome DNA sequence adjacent to a spacer. So just see over here, the thing is this particular part, it is matching with this, and this here, the Cas9 protein which has been guided through a guide RNA will get attached over here. Then what happened? The Cas9 RNA complex cuts the double strand of the DNA. So it will try to get accumulated in it after cutting it. So it will cut it basically. Then after it, what happened? The programmed DNA may be inserted in the cut. So what happened after the whole thing, when the Cas RNA is already attached to the DNA, it will be called as a programmed DNA, and it will again be inserted. So this particular part over here would be your new DNA strand which does not have the previous defect. So basically this is how, and that is why it is called as a Caesar, because it cuts through it. So that is one of the reasons that you need to remember over here. So I hope you have understood this video. CRISPR-Cas9 technology is important. You don't need to do PhD on it and try to understand everything, but the basic understanding, how it works, what it is, when it was discovered, what are its general applications could be. These kind of things are important from your examination point of view. If you have any doubt, feel free to comment. I hope you have liked this video. Thank you.